There's a specific kind of exhaustion that only shows up at night. You're lying there, eyes burning, but your thumb is still glued to the screen like it's on autopilot. You've told yourself 100 times, "Tonight I'm going to sleep early, for real this time." Then you glance at the corner of your phone and that number hits you in the face, 2:37 a.m. Your alarm for 6 or 7 a.m. is still sitting there, quietly threatening you with the morning. You already know tomorrow is gonna suck. Your body will be heavy, your brain foggy, even coffee won't feel like enough. There's a little voice in your head whispering, "Tomorrow's basically ruined." And still, your hand reaches for one more video, one more post, one more meaningless scroll. You're not stupid, and it's not like you don't understand the consequences. You're just trying to stretch out the only part of the day that actually feels like it belongs to you. What makes it worse is how people around you think they've solved you in one sentence. Just put your phone down. It's not that hard. Go to bed earlier. You're doing this to yourself. They talk like you're intentionally wrecking your own body, like you're choosing headaches and burnout for fun. All they see is the behavior. They don't see the whole day you've just had, pulled around by work, expectations, noise, and everyone else's needs. Because if it really were as simple as just sleep, you wouldn't be here right now. You wouldn't be up in the middle of the night listening to a stranger on the internet describe the exact habit you've tried to fix over and over. You've tried shutting your phone off early. You've tried app limits. You've tried forcing yourself into bed only to lie there wide awake in the dark. The problem was never just the phone. The real question is, why does your brain fight bedtime so hard even when you know you're setting your future self up to crash? Here's one piece of that answer. Your brain might simply be wired for the night. There's something weird that happens to you after dark. All day you're dragging your feet, slamming caffeine just to function. But the second other people start winding down, it's like someone flips a switch. Your thoughts get sharper, ideas come faster. Everything suddenly feels more interesting, right when the world says, "Time to go to sleep so you can be up early." That's not just stubbornness. That's what psychologists call an evening chronotype, or being a night owl. If you're wired this way, your sleepiness naturally kicks in later. You want to wake up later, and your peak focus and energy tend to hit in the late afternoon or at night, not at 8 or 9 a.m. the way school and office schedules expect. Studies on chronotypes show night owls often perform better on thinking tasks later in the day and evening, sometimes even showing sharper cognitive performance when they work in sync with their internal clock. The catch, the outside world wasn't built for your schedule. You still have to squeeze yourself into a 9 to 5 system. Morning classes, morning traffic, morning meetings. The alarm clock rips you out of sleep at what for your body still feels like the middle of the night. Researchers call that mismatch social jet lag. Your body lives in one time zone, your life in another, every single day. You fall asleep late because your brain won't power down, and you wake up early because life doesn't care, which means you're cutting off your sleep at both ends. The irony is that the hours people judge you the most for, your late nights, are probably when your brain is actually at its sharpest. Some research suggests evening types can do just fine, even excel mentally, when they're allowed to work in their natural window. But in a world that rewards early birds, that advantage rarely gets to show. Instead, you just look like the person who's always tired, forever forcing yourself awake in the morning and then getting dragged along by your own surge of energy at night. So if you feel the most online when the whole city is offline, that isn't just a bad habit. It's one part biology, one part circumstance. The problem isn't that you're broken. The problem is that you're a night brain being forced into a morning person world and then blamed for not keeping up. Now add this layer. Your time doesn't really feel like yours during the day. Almost every minute has a name that isn't you. Work calls, Slack pings, class assignments, family group chats, notifications, errands, social obligations, people wanting things, needing answers, setting deadlines. You bounce from role to role, employee, student, child, partner, friend. Any empty space gets filled with someone else's urgency. There are days you realize you didn't have a single interrupted moment just to sit with your own thoughts. But at night, everything finally slows down. Your phone quiets down, new emails stop flooding in, group chats go silent. Outside, the traffic dies down, the world gets dim and soft, and your room is mostly dark except for the glow of a screen or a small lamp. In that rare quiet, you finally feel, oh, this is my space. No one expects an instant reply. No one needs you to perform. Night becomes a little bubble where you can take off all the costumes you've been wearing all day. Inside that bubble, your brain starts doing what it couldn't do in the chaos, wandering, dream-dazing, connecting random ideas, going deep into things that have nothing to do with productivity. A lot of night owls say they feel more creative and focused at night, not because there's some magic in the moonlight, but because no one's interrupting them every 5 minutes. You can write, draw, game, binge YouTube, or just sit in the dark with music and not feel guilty that you're wasting time you should be using to get ahead. So when you say, I'm not just staying up late, this is when I actually feel alive, it sounds dramatic, but it's not wrong. In the daytime, it feels like you're running someone else's schedule. At night, for the first time, you get to control the pace, choose what you do, what you think about, what you watch, who you talk to, or choose to do nothing at all. Night isn't just extra hours, it's when you finally get to feel like the main character in your own life. And once your brain gets a taste of that, it clings to it, even if it means trading tomorrow's energy for a few more stolen hours tonight. That's where revenge bedtime procrastination sneaks in. There's this very specific moment every night. You know you've already pushed it too far, but you refuse to stop. Your eyes are stinging, your neck hurts, your brain is fried. The smart move is obvious. Go to sleep. But when Netflix asks, next episode, or your feed loads another video, your thumb hits play before you even think. It's not that you don't understand sleep is important. You're just choosing something that in that moment feels even more important, reclaiming a tiny bit of the day you didn't get. Psychologists call this revenge bedtime procrastination, staying up on purpose to take back personal time you didn't get during daylight. The definition sounds like a joke, but it's painfully accurate. You intentionally push your bedtime later than you know is healthy, not because you're slammed with urgent tasks, but to do low-stakes, low-effort things. Scroll, stream, game, read, wander around the internet. From the outside, it looks like you're just sabotaging yourself over dumb content. From the inside, it feels like the only time you have any say in how your life is spent. When every daylight hour is just have to, those late night hours become a quiet, private, screw this, I'm doing what I want. Picture someone getting home from work at 9 p.m. They eat, clean up, shower, maybe help a partner or family with something. By the time they sit down, it's close to 10 p.m. If they went straight to bed to get a full 7 to 8 hours, that entire day would have been nothing but chores and obligations. No space at all for hobbies, for play, for just being. So they stretch the night with Netflix, TikTok, gaming, or deep-diving random articles. Not because they think sleep doesn't matter, but because it's the only time all day they feel like their time is actually theirs. The problem is that revenge is aimed at the wrong target. You stay up 2-3 extra hours to feel free, and then tomorrow you're wrecked. You're slower at work, you make more mistakes, you're more irritable, and you feel guilty for not being on it. So you push harder to make up for it, which makes the day even more draining, and by nighttime you feel even more starved for alone time. That same script plays again. Today wasn't really mine. I deserve a few hours. The cycle becomes run away at night,
pay for it in the morning, and then run even harder the next night. On top of that, there's the 3 a.m. brain. You know that version of your mind, the one that won't shut up. The house is quiet, everyone else is asleep, and it's just you alone with this brain that refuses to turn the volume down. The later it gets, the more awake your thoughts feel, even as your body begs for rest. Tiny things from earlier, an awkward comment, a delayed reply, a minor mistake, suddenly blow up into proof that you're a mess, that something is wrong with you, that tomorrow is going to explode. Your mind holds an emergency meeting at the exact hour you just want everything